Welcome to Soul Science, the shift, the tribe, the movement. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together in a community in Soul Society. We are the #1 spiritual coaching community, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. We are awakening people to their divinity, to their life purpose, and to helping them manifest their dreams. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and our mission is to awaken 1 billion people globally. So today, we are going to talk about 10 timing your social media, 10xing your social media. I'm going to give you 10 steps to your social media mastery, okay? One of my missions is to empower spiritual coaches out there in the world. I realized years ago when I handed my life over to my mission of helping bring truth to the world and ending suffering for people that truly wanted and were committed to that. And so it has become my mission to help people get the coaching that they need spiritually and do their inner work and to develop world-class spiritual coaches. So today I am going to teach you 10 steps to really mastering social media and 10 timing your social media. Okay, so get a pen and paper out and we're going to begin this. Okay, the reality is this, is that social media matters today. It's kind of like in the olden days, say in the 1950s, when there was a state street or a main street in each city. And it was the best real estate that you could get your hands on. If you wanted to bring something to market, you had to be on that state street or main street, right? So social media is that main street or that state street of our lives. That's where the eyeballs are. That's where the traffic is. That's where people are, okay? It doesn't mean that you can't go network and go do other things out there in the world. But majority of people, if you want to hit the masses and hit people's consciousness, social media is extraordinarily important. And as a world-class, spiritual coach, if you're being developed as that in Soul Society, you want to understand these distinctions. We do have spiritual coaches that don't like the online world and don't want to do social media, and that's fine. But a majority of people really care about social media. So that's who we're talking today, okay? So if you're online and you're on social media and you are bringing your message to the world, which we help people birth their purpose and calling and birth their mission and message and develop their products within society. But if you're on social media, it's important to really understand what it's all about. Social media is all about engagement, okay? There's a thing called 7 rule, which means that somebody has to engage with you or see you at least 7 times before they actually would potentially purchase something from you, okay? So it's called a 7-time rule. And so we have to remember that social media is called social. It means that it's supposed to be engaging. It's not just about you. It's about, having a relationship that's going back and forth and bringing stuff to their life. What's in it for your audience? It's not about you showing off of who you are. It's about giving value, bringing inspiration, engaging with them, all on that. So I'm going to give you 10 distinctions that if you post these consistently, you will kind of hit all the psychological marks of what it means for somebody to really want to engage with you, trust you, learn from you, believe you, respect you, and so on and so forth. Okay. So I'm going to go through these first all the way through, and then we're going to back it up and go over these things. Okay. Number 1 thing to do on your social media, as spiritual coaches, is inspire. Like, it is the most important thing. You can have the greatest message, the greatest brand, bring great lessons, have lifestyle and all this stuff, but it's a subconscious thing. People see you and they're inspired or they're not, okay? There's certain people that have the it factor. And in spiritual coaching, we recognize that that is our connection to source, okay? So again, the most important thing as a spiritual coach on your social media is to be inspirational. And how do you become inspirational? You do your inner work and you tap into source, the truth of who you are. And that's where all inspiration comes from, okay? Number 2 is client proof. Client proof is something that's important. It's important. Masses buy what they think the masses are buying. That's part of it, right? They want to know, did somebody else purchase from you? Did somebody else believe in you enough to become your client? Did somebody else, come to your event, so on and so forth, right? So client proof is number 2, super important. In Soulciety, we basically have, as the girls are getting certified as spiritual coaches, one of the things they do is they do spiritual processes and trauma work, subconscious reprogramming, all kinds of things on each other. And in exchange, they give testimonials for each other, okay? So one of the things as you get certified, one of the requirements is that you have X amount of testimonials. So it's important. It's important to have these, and you really should be getting testimonials if you're working with clients, okay? Third thing that you need to show on social media is brand proof. Okay. People want to know that you have a brand. What is your brand? Because people identify. A good brand has an identity. The greatest brands, such as like Apple or a soccer team or Harley Davidson or whatever it may be, it is an identity for people. Okay. The greatest brands have identity. So who are you speaking to, and what is that identity that you're speaking to? Okay. Number 4 is engagement. These are things like doing live streams, Q&A, asking questions, getting polls, so on and so forth. Okay. Number 5 is consistency. And I don't think it belongs in that area. I think it's actually probably more like number 2. Okay. But number 5 is being consistent. One of the things that you need to understand is that one day somebody might come to your social media and they might be like, cool, oh, that was cool. But, she brings a lot of inspiration and empowerment and da-da-da. A week later, her boyfriend broke up with her. She, is spiraling down, and all of a sudden she comes online and you just happen to be there again talking about, something inspirational about codependency. And all of a sudden she's like, look, I got to work with this person. I can't deny this anymore. I can't pretend that I'm not codependent anymore. I got to sign up with this coach. Okay. So consistency is super important because it's really about being there and being the voice for truth as a spiritual coach all the time. Because over the cycle of 12 months, people will have cycles. And if they haven't done their inner work, I promise you, they're going to hit a low and they're going to want to surrender, and they're going to say, you know what, I got to get help. And if you go back online and you weren't there and another coach is there, then all of a sudden, that person is somebody that they may want to go to because it's in front of their face right then, right? So being consistent, showing up, having people trust you and see you as a leader. Leaders show up and they're always there for people. So being consistent is super important, okay? Number 6 is lifestyle. People don't want to think that you're just a workaholic. They want to see that you have a lifestyle. They want to, people do want to work with people that they want to be like, right? So we tend to want to be like people that have it all. They have the inner wisdom. They, have a lifestyle. They are, developing themselves. They have friends. They have emotions, so forth. So lifestyle is one of those things. We want to see your life. People want to see, they don't want to always just see your face on the camera. They don't want to always just see you jetting around. They don't want to see only your food pictures, right? They want to see the whole picture of who are you? And if you're going to build trust with this person, right? What's your life like? And it doesn't mean that you have to go in 5-star hotels. Maybe that's your brand. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe that's who you are. That's your authentic way. But what is your lifestyle? And people will identify with being authentic. I really recommend being authentic about your lifestyle. Number 7 is emotional proof, meaning, look, if you're just a robot and you don't have any kind of relatability, and it's something that I've struggled with because I don't feel like I suffer around anything anymore. So oftentimes I have to remember that I have to go back and remember the times that I was really going through stuff. I was bulimic when I was 17. I was codependent, through my 20s. I was date raped in high school. I had a stillborn at 22. And, or when things are going on in the world, like fires or things, you have to come with some empathy at some level and have emotional proof, like you're connecting at some level. People need to relate. And if you're not relatable, you're just a superwoman or whatever, and you just got it all figured out and all you do is preach. They can't identify What makes a great leader is somebody who's gone through hard times, and they are basically proving that if they can do it, then you can too. Okay, so emotional proof is very, very important. Number 8 is lesson of the day, meaning you've got to bring value. If somebody's going to sign up for you as a spiritual coach, they want to know that you have a framework. They want to know that you have particular teachings. They want to understand, what it is that you practice. What is it, right? In society, we teach a very specific lineage. We teach metaphysics, we teach universal law, we teach science of mind, we teach, it's a very specific lineage. It's part of the mental cure. It's part of, a very strong lineage of what's considered new thought. And so they want to know, are you just a woo-woo person? Are you somebody that deals with crystals or not crystals? Are you somebody that deals with, reprogram the subconscious mind like we do? And there's not right or wrong. It's being authentic to you. We do have spiritual coaches that love our lineage and specifically stay in soul society. We have other coaches that love, more woo-woo stuff. And I honor that. Like, I believe in crystals. I believe in astrology, of course. And it's just, I call it woo-woo because it's woo-woo, just because most people don't understand. It doesn't have stuff to it, but we're understanding now that woo-woo stuff is science-based, a lot of it. So we're bringing it back down to reality, okay? So lesson of the day, it's important to be able to relate and bring them value and back it up with science and back it up with facts and back it up with something that has them actually understand that you are not just woo, you actually know your stuff and you understand it, okay? Number 9 is entertainment. People like to laugh. Look, if you don't have any humor, there's something about that people trust people more that can have a little bit of humor. They're not always serious. And I know for me, I need a lot more laughter. I try and get goofy, but sometimes I get a little too goofy and then I got to reel it back in and pretend and be the teacher that I am. I tend to be very serious in my life. It's actually really good when I get a little bit more goofy. So entertainment, and sometimes it's pulling other viral videos off the internet or whatever it is to just bring them into your stream, bring them into your stories and so on and so forth. So people know, she's still human. She's still hasn't just completely become a robot. Number 10 is probably, something that so many people forget on social media. And number 10 is call to action. Okay. To become a leader and to be considered a leader, you've got to lead, right? So many people are afraid of this. They're afraid to ask for sales. They're afraid to, ask them to come to an event. They're afraid to give them a freebie or follow me or subscribe or like and comment or, fill out an application for a discovery call. Well, I don't know what that call to action is, but you got to do the call to action. If you're going to be a leader or a spiritual coach, right, a world-renowned spiritual coach, you are coaching, you are leading, you are bringing them and holding their hand and taking them into a better life. Okay. So on this note, I think that social media is something that I believe that it's something that you either love or you don't love. And I don't think that anyone should try and force themselves to do social media. For me, I love it. It's a creative outlet for me. It's a way to stay in communication with people. It's just a natural thing. I just think of it as one person that I'm communicating with all day. And I strategize out this. I don't always do these 10 perfectly. I'm not going to lie. I do have it on a social media calendar. I actually have a 365-day social media calendar. And in society, I teach the girls about how to actually get all of their content beyond those 10 distinctions, but I teach them to build their content in quarters and replicate it every quarter. And inside, we teach much more, like how to get on, your live stream, what a powerful talk is on social media, how to bring in other people, how to reach out to influencers and get them to do a live stream with you, how to interview them on your social media, how to brand yourself, how to sell once you get them that call to action off there. Okay. So within Soulciety, what I'm teaching you today is like the very surface level, but it's very good value. extraordinary good value. But inside Soulciety, we take it to a level where you embody it, where you strategize around it, where you really understand, building your brand. You understand how to get the testimonials specifically, how, there's different levels of testimonials to put out on social media, how to master your emotions so you can actually show emotional proof, but actually back it up with, leadership distinctions with that. What lessons of the day. I train all the spiritual coaches in specific lineage so they have content for their entire year. So on that note, I know that social media can be used for good. It can be used for chaos. Just like all of life, we're in a relative thing. You can use anything for heaven and hell. So I know right here and right now that social media is always for my benefit and for every of the Soulciety spiritual coach benefit. I recognize that this is a place that is magical, that we get to bring truth and so many distinctions out to the world globally. I recognize that I'm so grateful for all the great minds that came before to create the social media that allows us to connect globally, internationally, helping people transform their lives in their suffering, discover their purpose and calling, and really bring their voice and message to the world. I say thank you for this. And if you're listening to this and you are inspired, I ask that you share it with somebody that you feel like could benefit from it. Also, if you are so inspired and you want to learn more and actually embody and master social media through all the different avenues of your brand, of getting that client proof, of being inspirational through doing your inner work, by understanding and learning things that you can teach every day on your social media, I would highly, highly recommend going and checking out Soulciety. We only work with highly committed individuals that want to make a difference in the world. But if you have a calling, you've had a spiritual calling, and you truly desire to either be coached and do your inner work or become a world-class coach, please go over there. You can apply today. There's also free trainings on there as well. And I just love what I do. And there's nothing more fulfilling than developing the spiritual coaches in there. So have a wonderful day, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin and Soulciety podcast. I'd like to invite you to write a review on iTunes. Also, I have a free gift for you, a money meditation and worksheet, which you can find at soulciety.com. That's www.soulciete.com. Or 30 guided meditations at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. We also hold monthly Soulciety events that are all about transformation and building extraordinary community. You can also watch me live daily on goodmorninglalaland.com or Instagram at drerin.tv. Grab your free manifestation masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams at erinfallhaskell.com/awakening book.